brothers, and welcome back to some Tech High School action. And today, it's Tuesday. That's right. It's Tuesday, which means we have some special teams, special plays, special players hitting the pitch with some Rocket League action. But before we get to that, since it's been a few weeks since we've had Rocket League over here with the holiday and everything, let's go ahead and take a look at how our teams fared last time out back in March. And starting in Division 1, we got things kicked off with Fraser High School being able to secure their first dub of the season. A clean sweep at that against West Green. And it was Sethman 619 with the performance from the top rope, truly making a splash with 10 goals on just 14 shots, also leading the lobby in saves as well. And Gateway were able to keep their undefeated season going with a hard-fought matchup over Albert Gallatin, a series where Gateway were outscored 7-5 through the first 4 games, but being able to step it up when it mattered the most. Ice in the veins, handing Albert Gallatin their second loss of the season. And while we're talking about undefeated seasons being kept going, Carmichael's area were able to keep their perfect spring going as well. Another sweep. They've only lost 3 games all semester, and it was Jay Cray going cray-cray. 9 goals, 3 saves, 3 assists. This team looks impressive. And what's better than 1 sweep? You already know it, brother. It's 2 sweeps as Carmichael's area goes back-to-back, and who else but Jay Cray to lead the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 6 saves. And it was the GOATs from Greater Altoona who were able to bust out the brooms versus Winburn area. Greater Altoona moves up to 3-2 and have their eyes set in on securing a playoff spot. And it feels like a sweep is definitely a great place to start, but can the momentum from that have carried over this long? Only time will tell. And we saved the best for last, baby. Our game of the week last week for Division 1, the run back of our spring championship as Forest Hills and California area both entered the matchup undefeated. And despite Forest Hills winning game number 1, it was the best hair in the business, Ixwalvo leading the way with 9 goals along with 4 saves and hat tricks in back-to-back games in 3 and 4 to wrap up the gentleman's sweep. And in Division 2, we had Franklin Regional able to get their first dub of the season, and they came to play against Geibel Catholic, breaking out the brooms, and it was Alex leading the way with 12 goals, 3 assists, along with 3 saves. And Mapletown Junior Senior High also picked up their first series win of the season, being able to take down California area in 3 straight games. And it was B. Carrick leading the way for Mapletown with 12 goals, literally tripling the output from California area all by himself. What a series. And Jefferson Morgan were also able to break out the brooms last time they hit the pitch, doing so against West Branch. And it was long balls doing it all, leading both teams in goals, assists, and saves. 7-2-2. Talk about an impressive split. And while we're speaking on sweeps, the GOATs from Greater Altoona know a thing or two about a good broom, and they've only dropped 1 game all spring. And unfortunately for Brownsville area, it wasn't during this series, and it was vanilla stuff in the stat sheet. We're talking 6 goals, 4 assists, and 3 saves as well. And the Rangers from Forest Hills were able to have a big outing last week when they hit the pitch. It started with a win over Franklin Regional in 3 straight games, and Block A leading the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 3 saves. But they then carried that momentum into their second series, and I had to double check to make sure that these stats were right. Not the sweep, because they do that over at Forest Hills, but 30 goals from Block A? 30? Are you kidding me? 6 assists as well as throwing in a save. Watch out, Pick B. Looks like we found your replacement as Forest Hills moves up to 5-0. And Albert Gallatin were able to put themselves up over that 500 mark on the season with their win against West Branch. And it was Got Skills leading the way with 11 goals and 5 saves to go along with his 2 assists, as Albert Gallatin moved to 2-1 on the season, but their schedule does get packed in the upcoming weeks. And wrapping up our D2 action, it's Penn Trafford taking down Salisbury Elk Lick in 3 straight games, holding the Elks to just 1 goal. And it was Extrencia with an impressive performance, 6 goals on just 5 shots. Bro is that good. Added in a couple of saves as well as Penn Trafford moved to 4-1. And now that we've seen how last week's action broke down, let's go ahead and see who's moved up, down, or out of our Division 1 Power 5 rankings. And y'all already know we can't leave out our Division 2 squad. Here's our Power 5 rankings for those as well. And here's our overall standings for our Division 1 Rocket League thus far in the spring. And let's go ahead and take a look at our Division 2 standings going into this week's action. Now, if there's a matchup that you're looking for, let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule for week number 7. That way we can make sure that we got y'all in the right spot to catch the action live. Now, I know that my matchup to watch is going to be towards the end of the day, and that's going to be Penn Trafford versus Laurel Highland. And that's a matchup that could already have some playoff implications already on the line. And in Division 2, keep an eye out for a battle between 2 top 5 teams in Gateway and Penn Trafford. And so with that being said, it's time we get down and do what it do. It's time for week number 7. So good luck to all of our competitors out there. But don't forget, we've got more content heading y'all's way more than ever over on social media, as well as over on YouTube. The top 5 plays this year have been extra spicy. So make sure you're getting involved, smacking the like button, leaving a comment, and don't forget to tell somebody, to tell somebody, to tell somebody about it, brothers. Until we catch y'all back over here for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out. What's up, brothers? And welcome back to some TEC High School action. And today, it's Tuesday. That's right. It's Tuesday, which means we have some special teams, special plays, special players hitting the pitch with some Rocket League
And welcome back to TEC, the Tech Middle School Series. We are here with more Rocket League on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. I'm Tucker Haynes, joined by TJ. We got Week 5 action coming at you, with the first match being Fraser versus Central Cambria in D1.
Yeah, we're up in Division 1. Players are getting into the lobby. Fraser versus Central Cambria, you already said. I'm going to say it once more. We've got a best of 5 on our hands here in week number 5 of the TEC Middle School Series. Game number 1 now on your screens as we start things off with a banger. Fraser versus Central Cambria, the ball making its way towards the side wall as Seven Dragon going to drop that one back down to Fraser as they're now looking to make their first attack of the series.
Looking back at the standing, Central Cambria has had a very good showing so far. The second seed throughout the entire first division. And Fraser, we cannot say the same. Currently 1 and 2 at the 7th spot, only ahead of California area, but Fraser's going to start things off with a bang. First goal goes to them.
Yeah, I mean, Fraser's 1 and 2, but it looks like, I'm looking at the standings right now, I think their goal differential is only a single game, or at least their game differential. So they've been keeping things close so far in their series. Again, only against a team with, a differential game of just 1. So 1 win separating these two squads here as we see Fraser trying to start things off with a bang. First minute almost down as the ball now making its way towards the Fraser side of the field. Going to make its way onto the backboard as well. Going to have to be cleared out, but tactical whips incoming as AJ Strongman, a beautiful 50, going to put that one home, in Central Cambria able to tie things up.
With the Merc, Xbox 15 misses the clear, has one more, but it's right into the hand of AJ Strongman. All evened up, and we are just 1 minute in.
Just a minute in, it seems that we might have a high-scoring game on our hands as the ball rolling up the sidewall, going to be brought back to the Central Cambria side of the field as bumps come through. The ball slow roller, but Rocky able to make the clear. Now looking for a solo play downfield. Has gotten it past 2 players. Can he find the third? No. Xbox 3 going to shove himself in between the ball and the wall there to clear things out, although still stuck in the corner. AJ Strongman, these 50s have been absolutely brutal, keeping the ball grounded in place. Rocky, another touch over to AJ, as now it's up on the backboard. A nice clear from Xbox 15 of Fraser Middle School as it seems that they'll survive the onslaught for now. Another beautiful save out of Xbox 2 as the shots piled on here, Tucker, but they just cannot find the back of the net.
No, they cannot. Defensive Fraser holding up for now, and the transition onto offense is very nice, but a double whiff will end it out. Xbox 15 doing whatever they can to salvage it, but it's not good enough. Rocky almost gets it over the last man, but Xbox 3 gets just enough on that ball to redirect it to an advantageous spot. Delaying right inside of the zone, but they aren't quite able to attack is Central Cambria. They have to get back and reset.
The ball, a nice clear from Xbox 2 from Fraser as they're looking to carry things down, handing the ball off to another member of the squad as they're not able to work things off the ground. The ball almost glued to the wall now as it falls down. Looking for something is AJ, but a tactical whiff going to send the ball back towards the Central Cambria side of the field. No, my goodness, it's an own goal off of Rocky's touch, and I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Looks like just a second banger as Xbox 3, I think, wanted to touch out towards the wall, but instead, an unlucky angle is going to give Central Cambria a lead.
Central Cambria up by 2 after forfeiting the first goal. They have not let any more in. I might have just stand corrected, but no. Good save from Rocky. All over the place, not just an offensive unit, but a defensive one as well. And I want to talk about Fraser's season so far. They started off with a really awkward 0-2, losing to both Portage and Chartiers Houston, but they are currently on a streak, taking down California area. They look to keep that up going into their 4th matchup of the season, but the clock is starting to tick down, and they are currently trailing.
And the ball is in front of the net, looking to tie things up, but a hard clear going to reset all of their progress as now Xbox 15 looking to work with this ball. A nice hard touch back down towards the ground. Gonna let it float up towards the sidewall as AJ finds the clear. Xbox 2, an aerial, but not going to find a piece of the ball. It's Rocky now looking for it. It's going to be off the sidewall. Shot in. Gets past 7 Dragon, and Frazier able to tie things up.
Great spot to do it in as well. A perfect setup from Xbox 15. And then the second man in command is there to finish. Hammer down and into the net for an even ball game.
And now another kickoff, maybe in overtime here in game number 1, as it's been a tight scoring game, not as high scoring as recent, but goals have been kept low. AJ Strongman looking to carry this one all the way down the field as they'll get stopped down in the corner. 7 Dragon now. Maybe it's their turn, but no, Xbox continuing to work things down. Frazier doing an excellent job of just controlling the ball. Even these hard clears away from Central Cambria, you know, it's not giving them a lot of time to do work. Meanwhile, Frazier playing very slow, very meticulous with this ball. As I say that, an unlucky bump, a team bump of that. As now AJ, hard clear up, Xbox 15 up for an aerial shot. It's on target, saved away. 45 seconds left, both teams looking for that possible golden goal.
That's not a bounce that Frazier Middle School wanted. Xbox 15 looks for the air dribble. It's not quite good enough. Rocky sees the thread needle and once again scores, this time from downtown in a crucial point.
Yeah, Xbox 2 just could not catch up. That could be the golden goal here in game number 1 for Central Cambria. We'll have to see. 35 seconds left for Frazier to make a response, to push themselves back into this game number 1. So far, they've looked good in terms of team play and in terms of slowing the ball down. And now we see a player, Tucker, sitting all the way back in net, which is, they haven't done this all game. I don't know why they're starting now when they need that aggression.
Not quite sure. Frazier Middle School needs to find one, but they have just switched up their play style to a more defensive one. Rocky has a really awkward touch. They're able to clear it out in the nick of time, but now we see the big, bold yellow letters. Single-digit seconds left on this clock, and so far, Central Cambria is doing a great job of keeping this ball out of the center line. Off the wall and on the ground, Central Cambria will outlast Frazier for game 1.
Game 1 gonna go the way of Central Cambria. A great start to the game, although, you know, an own goal there, you know, I think would have kept things technically tied, as Xbox, one of the Frazier Middle School members, unfortunately getting a rough touch there, giving Central Cambria a free goal. So all things considered, Tucker, could have been a 2-2 game, could have been something that we saw in overtime. Looks like one of the players of Central Cambria hopefully rejoining in a few minutes. I'm not sure what happened there, as it is a best-of-5 series here on the TEC Middle School series. But so far, Central Cambria, you know, they found these good opportunities. I still think overall, despite this loss, that Frazier, I think they're playing more solid Rocket League. They've just got to, you know, get over a couple of those team bump mistakes.
Yeah, it's very simple mistake. It's very easy to fix mistakes from Frazier, which is a good thing. Aside from that one little own goal, those are very simple mistakes. Simple miscommunications is all it will take to finish out this game and make it a little bit more competitive. I mean, it's already pretty competitive, so if you are able to fix those small mistakes, you're going to be golden. You should be able to take a game off of the Central Cambria, maybe even 2, maybe even 3, and get away with a dub.
Yeah, I believe that Frazier can take, you know, at least a game or 2 off. If not, you know, secure themselves wholly in this series. Game number 2, excuse me, about to be underway. Now on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, a Central Cambria versus Frazier. Central Cambria currently sitting up 1-0 as a beautiful kickoff for Frazier to start things off, although it's just going to be a slow roller into the corner and cleared away by AJ.
Nice shot saved away by Rocky, and I noticed the one player from Central Cambria left. We have a substitute, Vinny Cheese. Oh no, it might have been a name change because the tag is still the same. I'm not sure. It's either a substitute or it is a name change, because Vinny Cheese is not the same person. It's not the same name, but the tagline is the same, and the shot is still really good. Big save from 15 at the last possible second.
Yeah, I think it might be a substitute in here in game number 2. We'll see if it pays off, as Vinicius seeming to be a pretty fast player on the ball here, working this one down. The boost's going to be stolen away. They're going to have to pause their play, as Frazier now with control of the ball. Aerial up. Xbox 2 maybe looking to follow that team bump that we talked about last game. It's unfortunately going to bite them in the butt here as a minute down, and no goals scored from Frazier. Ball's going to be rolling up. Rocky going to find a nice touch to keep the ball out of the center of the net.
Oh, and really fantastic touch. Rocky somehow gets it out. One more shot from Frazier, and it's surely in, but it's denied barely by Central Cambria. You can't get everything, though. Eventually, the camel's back has to break.
Yeah, and there's that first goal. Actually, a beautiful redirect from Xbox 15 to put that one home. And Frazier, they are going to start off with a 1-goal lead. It took them 1 minute and 15 seconds, a little bit slower than last game, although much low scoring overall as well, as teams seem to have figured out each other's strategies, figure out what they need to do to get the ball downfield, as Xbox 15 doing an excellent job yet again. Ball's going to roll up high. Rocky, again, we've seen them on the backboard many a time so far this series already, being the main ball clearer, but can't clear that one away. Xbox 2 makes the ground play work, keeps it low, and unable to be read. Frazier doubling their lead.
And I want to point out Xbox 2's patience here. Waiting for 15 to get the setup shot and then going for the goal. A lot more disciplined is what I'm seeing from Frazier. The difference between game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, definitely a big difference. You know, we've seen the sub in from Vin and Cheese. Haven't seen a lot of work done yet with the sub, although we'll see if there's more to come of that. But right now, Frazier looking really solid here in game number 2. Seem to have figured out a couple of their mistakes from last game, and they are playing a one-man defensive army in the back of the net, wondering if, you know, that extra movement in the net is just going to prevent, you know, any extra balls from making their way too far down the field. And a 50 out of Xbox 15 is going to send that one home and secure a hat trick for the entire Frazier squad, as that is a beautiful read off of Rocky's card, but Frazier up 3.
Xbox 15 can see the future, and they're pretty good at it. They don't have any faulty superpowers. 3 goals in a row for Frazier Middle School. Central Cambria so far has only put up 1 shot, and something needs to change. Something needs to change very quick, as right away we have another shot from Frazier. TJ, they're fired up.
Yeah, they have figured everything out now. I think having a one-man defense is definitely working out well for them. They've only had to have 1 save, and to be fair, there's only been 1 shot, and that was from Vin and Cheese at the very beginning of the series. I think Frazier, as I said last game, Frazier plays the ball very slow. And, I mean, in this level of play, where it is slightly slower than what we see in the high school, you know, it's one of those things where taking your time with the ball is allowing them to work more with it. For Central Cambria, you know, we've seen a lot of booming clears out of them so far, Tucker, and they're not giving themselves enough time to really work the ball down the field.
That they're not. If they took it a little bit slower and a little bit more controlling, they might have a bit of a better opportunity. But as you said, they're just clearing it out as far and as big as they can, which is not the right way to play. You're a little bit slower than, say, a higher level player. So you're not going to have enough time to get on the ball, thus giving possession easily over to Frazier.
Yeah, there's another long clear, and it looks like it's going to be sent away. And what's even worse about, you know, these hard clears out of Cambria is that with Frazier playing a man back, these hard clears, you know, we saw Rocky thread the needle last game and nobody was home. Well, now somebody is home all the time. So even if you have a shot from long range that's on target, Frazier has somebody there to just send it away before it even makes it towards the center.
Exactly. That's what makes things so difficult whenever you're playing against a designated goalie. You got to get some airtime, and Rocky does just that, evening things up a little bit, but there's still work to do.
Yeah, still 1 minute and 25 for 3 more goals. Xbox 3 just unable to read that ball in time. Was a banging shot. As Central Cambria, they find their first goal after 4 unanswered. We'll see how much more they can put up to try and bring themselves back into this game. Frazier seemed to have slowed down a bit, although maybe it's Central Cambria finally, you know, putting the brakes on them, as Xbox 15 chasing this ball downfield. Rocky's going to find a demolition on that, as Vin and Cheese and Rocky now working together to get the clear out of their own corner. Haven't seen a lot out of AJ Strongman so far this game either, Tucker, and I want to say he was one of the more highlight players in game number 1. I'm wondering, you know, what happened here, as Frazier going to put up a 5th.
Frazier seemed to change something, and whatever it was, it definitely worked. They put one man in the backfield at all times, And I think that might allow them to have more freedom on the offensive half of the pitch as well, considering they get rid of that third man and they're able to let their two attackers move a little more freely and less chance for error. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure, but either way, Frazier has a system and the system is very well oiled.
Very well-oiled machine out of Frazier as Rocky, you know, nice save sitting back for that one as Xbox 15 currently sitting up for the ball. Rocky gonna find a nice hard cleared away, although Xbox 3 is gonna be back to make the save as the ball goes high over the backboard now. Rolling down towards the midfield as Vin and Cheese has possession, gonna tap it away, finds a bump as well to keep things slow and steady, but now the ball going towards the Central Cambria net, gonna be saved away at the nick of time. As with 10 seconds left, game number 2. Gonna go to Frazier here as they definitely flipped the script, Tucker. We definitely saw some fire in this team here in game number 2.
For sure did. In a very one-sided fashion as well. Not like this was a sneak by win like what Central Cambria did in the first game. Frazier came out of the gate swinging, and they landed pretty much everything. Looking at the scoreboard, so much red.
Yeah, a lot of red down this one. Ball possession was all field domination. I mean, they are looking so good. Central Cambria actually had more boost, but I think, you know, the difference here is that Frazier, they played it so slow, they didn't really need the boost. It wasn't something that was a requirement just because they played the game so meticulously. Goals, shots, everything. I mean, 9 shots to 2. Not exactly what you want. And Vin and Cheese seems to have left, maybe being subbed back in for 7 Dragon, which it seems it's the case, rotating through these players here in game number 3. As, yeah, I mean, as you said, this is a scoreboard of red, Tucker.
Not much else, any other ways you can put it. Simply a domination from Frazier, and hopefully for Central Cambria's sake, they're able to get back in the win column and get back on the horse, because they fell off very violently, but it's not over just yet. There's still a long series ahead of us. The scoreline is 1-1. They still have, at minimum, 2 chances to get themselves secured.
Yeah, we'll have to see who can claim a game of match point first, as we see 7 Dragon already being quick, subbed right back into this game. We'll see if maybe he's the dagger for Frazier, the kryptonite, to bring them back into this one. A booming clear downfield. It's going to be Xbox 2 to take possession of that one back, as now it rolls through the midfield. Xbox 15, a nice hard clear. Going to follow on the backboard, but didn't have the space to work with it, as it's now a slow roller. 7 Dragon shot towards the sidewall. Xbox 15 going to find a whiff on it, as it's now a rolling shot into the back of the net. Somehow it doesn't go in, and Frazier stay alive.
Frazier has the locks and transitions onto offense immediately after. 7 Dragons miss. Rocky has to get a touch with it. They barely do. And it's cleared out yet again, but right to the side of Frazier. Right into Xbox 15's midst, but they get the team bump. And now that ends all hopes of an attack. Frazier has to reset.
First minute down. Ball stuck in the Central Cambria corner. Frazier is looking to bring this one towards the center of the pitch, but no, it's going to be sent away. A roller down towards the net, but Xbox 3 is there. That extra layer of defense. Those long clears not going to do much. Rocky's going to have to find a clear here. Xbox 15, a nice 50 to try and keep things on the Central Cambria side of the field, but it's going to be sent away by Rocky back into the hands of Xbox 15 from Frazier. Now looking to work things down. The 50's working out in his favor. 7 Dragon not able to get back in time, and Frazier, second game in a row, they're going to start with a lead.
How did Xbox do that with no boost? You don't win those hard-hitting 50s without any boost, but Xbox just did.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I talked about. Frazier just plays things so slow, and we saw the boost consumption heavy in favor of Central Cambria. Although maybe they're not utilizing it as properly. I mean, they're probably using it to try and chase these long clears downfield, and then they have nothing left to work with. Frazier, on the other hand, plays things so slow, it seems that they don't need much boost to accomplish, you know, balls in the back of the net. A nice, powerful shot from Xbox 2, but going to be cleared away by Rocky. As now, with 3 minutes left.
Xbox 2 misses the ball, has to run back for it. AJ Strongman's going to get there a little bit quicker. And hopefully Central Cambria can use this to transition onto the offense, but immediately smacked out of their hand by Xbox 15. Banger shot, dead up top, and 2 goals in a row for Fraser Middle School.
Yeah, Rocky unfortunately centering that one perfectly for Xbox 15, and a banger of a shot, top center. Fraser now up 2-0. We need to see a response here from Central Cambria. Last game, they went 4 goals unanswered. Do we see the same here again in game number 3?
Seven Dragon waiting for that ball to get down, but Xbox 2 doesn't wait. That's the difference. You can't wait for a ball to come to you. You have to go for a ball. At almost every level of play, Fraser Middle School knows that. Their mindset is a very high-level mindset. You notice they're a little slower than what you might see out of a high school team. But their mindset is there. They go for the ball. They rarely ever let the ball come to them. They have a couple of mistakes, the team bumps, the whiffs, but when you take a look at how they position, they're a very, very solid unit.
Yeah, they're a team where it seems that slow and steady does in fact win the race, as they take their time with it. And I think, you know, we see Central Cambria rushing for these balls and then either not finding a good touch or even just completely missing on the ball. One thing at low level play, or at a lower level of play, is that you have to respect, you know, yourself as a player. You have to understand, maybe I'm going too fast. Maybe I can't find, you know, a good touch on this ball. That was a good touch from Rocky. Unfortunately, Fraser defense is just too strong. But again, you know, these players going a bit too fast towards the ball, and they're either clearing it to a place that they can't follow up, or they're completely missing on the ball and giving Fraser time to counterattack.
Rocky up for it. Ooh, a triple touch. Works out really well with 50 booth left to spare. Over to the center one more time, and it's yet again denied by the Fraser defense. Xbox 2 looks to get one clear. It's going to be off the backboard again, off the touch from Central Cambria. Denied from Xbox 15. Rocky back and forth, but once again, Fraser just gets it out of there.
They just are unstoppable force. Nothing can be done by Cambria right now. We're seeing 5 minutes now where they have not put up a single goal. We're seeing, you know, over the last 10 minutes, it's been 6 goals to 1. Fraser looking good on offense and defense, even after Cambria's Game 1 win. It seems that they've got things figured out, and they're taking their time with all of these plays. I mean, even then, Game 1 was just a 1-goal game, and now an open net, the over-aggression from Cambria to try and score a goal to put one home, maybe bring themselves back into this one. Completely denied. Xbox 15, a touch on the ball, a long shot, and Fraser seem to have secured game number 3. Gonna put themselves up to match point here.
Surely. And over the last 10 minutes almost, Central Cambria has only been allowed 1 goal. Fraser has been at the net time and time and time again, and time again, yet once more. Give them a 4th on the game. Solo play from Xbox 15.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, when you're Central Cambria, you have to try and get as aggressive as possible to score those goals. Obviously, with that over-aggression leads to open nets, and when mistakes are made, Fraser, they're gonna beat you down for it, as with 15 seconds left, a 4-goal lead, 8 goals to 1 in the last 2 games here, as Fraser have completely changed the way that they've played after game number 1.
That they have. Central Cambria wants one, get one to go, but Fraser's not going to let it happen. That is match point for Fraser Middle School, 2 in a row, as they look for the gentleman's sweep, and it very slanted in their favor. Over the last 10 minutes, Fraser has outscored their opponents 9-1.
Yeah, just not much you can really do about that. Even then, looking at this scoreboard, I mean, 4 goals to 0, shots on target so much higher. Everything going Fraser's way. Demos, actually no demos that game. That's surprising. I feel like Central Cambria, you know, now that they're up against a one-man defense, like always having one man back, they need to start going for those demos in the backfield to open things up. But that's just not happening.
It's really not. You have to find a way to put someone to deny that third man established defense. But so far, Central Cambria is just acting like it's not there, trying for the regular shots. If it was a regular rotational, transitional offense/defense, then it would be one thing, but you have that rock in the backfield at all times. You've got to send someone forward to get rid of that rock. You've got to send someone to bump. You've got to send someone to demo. You've got to send somebody to do something about it.
Yeah, now we've got game number 4. Another sub in. AJ is out. Neon Stars is in for Central Cambria as the rotations of their roster keep coming through. Maybe this is something they need as the ball, a pinch off the kickoff. Xbox 15 already downfield, looking to find a touch here. Start things off strong, but it's 50 out.
Big 50 and ends up in a pinch, going up to down. One more touch from Rocky, but Frazier gets the better of it. Once more backboard, Xbox 2 looks for the finish, but nobody can get there, and it's going towards the Frazier net. Barely they're able to take it off center. One more time, Frazier has a shot, saved away by Rocky.
Yeah, this offense is just piling shots on. That one's going to be off post. Neon Stars doesn't have to do too much about it, although now they have to be careful as Xbox 15 continuing to work this one downfield. As Frazier now on yet another attack. It's going to be pinched towards the corner yet again. Xbox 3 maybe looking for a bump in net, but it's going to go out and wide. Xbox, again, Frazier, these shots on target just wide. 3 shots in the first minute.
That is a lot of shots. That is so much pressure over to the Central Cambria defense that something has got to change. So far, Central Cambria, they have yet to record a single shot. They've barely even been in the Frazier half. This is the first time that they've even gotten close to the net, and Rocky is able to record a shot, but does not go anywhere.
Yeah, and this is the first time that we've really seen the ball stuck in the Frazier side of the field. No clear yet, although Xbox 3 has a shot with the ball here, trying to bring it towards midfield, although 7 Dragon to find a shot away. A 50 looking on target, going to be out by the post instead. As shots from both teams looking strong, scoreless so far. As Cambria does not want to go down without a fight. They've been lackluster the last 2 games, but seem to have picked up something now as a pinch downfield. Xbox looking for a doink, but not going to come through. Now it's Frazier's turn yet again with the ball. A pass over to Xbox 15 as Rocky able to make the clear, picks up some boost to go with it. A second touch as well. And going to let that one fall.
Xbox 15 has one more shot from Rocky, though this one will finally break the slump. The post giveth and the post taketh away, but this time the post not even involved. Central Cambria on the board first.
Yeah, Rocky, this is, you know, I want to say the premier goal scorer here for Central Cambria, as a lot of these booming shots just kind of from the midfield that soar in, and Frazier just unable to react, unable to get into the air in time to shut it down. As Central Cambria, first time with a lead since game number 1. We'll see what they're able to do with it. Xbox 15, though, control the ball. Looking for a double tap, perhaps, but no, gonna drop instead. Rocky makes the clear.
Xbox 15 leading the charge. Over to the net, over to the backboard. Xbox 2. That's one missing the boost, missing the ball entirely, using up all of the boost in their tank. And Xbox 15 has to push this one down. Frazier's looking a little bit sloppy. The shots have not been good. The plays have not been good. Overall, Central Cambria is starting to become a little bit more secure than what we saw in game 2 and 3.
Yeah, definitely looking a lot stronger here. Another booming clear. Xbox 3 is gonna whiff and open that opportunity, but nobody from Cambria is there. As now Xbox 15 shot up, Rocky. A nice 50 to keep things in the Frazier side of the field. As Frazier yet to respond, still sitting at a deficit. 90 seconds left for this team to work with. As Xbox from Frazier working their way down, gonna be cleared out by Rocky, who seems to be putting everything on his back for Central Cambria. As now team bumps coming through. Maybe a back pass? No, just gonna be kept in the wheels of Xbox 2 as the demo comes through. Want to see more of those demos, although now Frazier responds back with one of their own.
Xbox 15. Oh, gets beat on it by Cambria. Saved away by Xbox 3. Rocky almost had a really nice shot. Up it goes once more. Rocky looks for the finish. 1 minute remaining. Frazier Middle School is still trailing. One more touch from Rocky, saved away by Xbox 2. And Frazier Oh, they all get beat, and Frazier has to reset.
Yeah, Frazier now on the reset. We could see a game 5 here. Golden goal opportunity for Cambria if they could put a second one home. Frazier need to respond, and they need to do it quick. A nice banger out by Xbox 15, but going to be dinged up. Hit from the back end as Rocky finds a demo. As now, with 23 seconds left on the clock, Frazier yet to make work of this ball. Have to bring this one downfield. It's now with 13 seconds left. Frazier looking for anything here. Gonna be sent down. Xbox 15 not gonna find the shot. Central Cambria, a 1-goal game to send them to game number 5 here as the ball touches the ground. And all things considered, Central Cambria seem to have things, you know, lined up here. Neon Stars, the sub. Maybe it's a kryptonite, but overall, shots completely equal, saves completely equal. The only difference was a single goal.
And it was dead down the center. As we saw, the scores almost the same. The assists favoring, actually no, completely the same. It looks like it's favoring Frazier, but nah, that's just the UI. But yeah, everything's the same. You are 100% correct, including actually touches going Frazier's way, ball possession and boost consumption going their way as well. But Central Cambria comes out with the dub.
Yeah, just a little bit stronger there overall, you know, keeping the ball away when they needed to. And I like seeing that. It seems that, you know, with this extra win, they're not going to be subbing out in game number 5. We've seen 4 games in a row with a new player on the starting roster, but they're keeping things the way that they were here in game number 4, looking to close things out. You know, first game of the day, game number 5, you know, what else could you ask for? Very hype.
Very, very hype. First series of the day, going to Champions Field. You cannot ask for much better than that. Central Cambria has been so good throughout the season. They've slipped a little bit in this series, but now they've got the chance to keep themselves at the highest point they've been in. Frazier, the series is nearing its end. They're only 1-2. They've got to get some work done. Massive implications for playoffs coming out of this game.
Oh, and a hard kickoff. Unfortunately, Xbox 2 couldn't find the read as Frazier now sitting back in net, looking to make that clear, and it will be made. 10 seconds down. Ball has already hit both back walls as Xbox 15 looking to do things all by himself. A demo on the play. Ball's towards the corner. Now, a shot on target behind Seven Dragon, and Frazier picking things up where they left it in game number 3, already starting with a lead.
20 seconds in, and Frazier is there. Great stuff. Games 2 and 3 was so good. Game 4, they started to slip a little bit, and they barely lost it, only by 1. But they are right back where they left off, and 2 goals in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, right off the kickoff as well. That extra oomph Rocky wasn't expecting. Able to secure a second goal in Central Cambria. Already stuck on the back foot just under 30 seconds into this game. Another frozen kickoff. Do they find a third? No, it's going to be wide this time. And a whiff on the play. Double whiff as Xbox 2 going to have to rally back all alone. 1 versus 1 in the net. Seven Dragon shot going to be saved away.
40 seconds in, and Frazier's already found so much pressure. Central Cambria only able to put up 1 shot so far, but I'm sure that will change as time goes on. Rocky does it right as it leaves my mouth. 3 goals already, and Rocky with a beautiful arcing shot puts Central Cambria on the board.
Again, these plays where there's just that second touch, that extra bit of pizzazz on the ball, that's what these players have just been unable to read so far. Rocky doing an excellent job repeating what happened just recently to them as Frazier put that second goal in the net as, oh no, it's stuck in the middle. Frazier unable to make anything happen with it though. Rocky a hard clear away as now a touch on the ball, keeping things up high. Xbox 15 gonna keep things low now as they drop it down. Now back in the Frazier side of the field. A minute down here, 3 goals already on the leaderboard. Frazier still with a tight lead.
Xbox 15 driving down around the corner. Looks for the setup, but Rocky denies it for now. One more time, cleared away. Central Cambria, awkward flip from Rocky. Frazier still fighting for possession. And a great hit from one of the Xbox gang. Puts it back in the backfield of Central Cambria. They have to reset from all the way from their own net.
The ball now stuck in the midfield. Xbox 15 a tap down. Xbox 2 trying to work with it, but a little bit of different mindsets on the team. As an open net, but going to be cleared away. Nobody from Central Cambria there to make a play with it. They all stuck back in their own side of the field as 2 minutes down, 3 to go. Central Cambria still needs a second response here. The ball rolls down. Seven Dragon a whiff. Neon Star sitting in the back of the net. Rocky to follow. But again, centered. Xbox 2 not able to get there in time. It's cleared away. As Frazier bumped out of the play. Rocky, no boost in the tank. Finally able to pick some up. Halfway through this game, Tucker, and both teams, they're looking pretty even. Frazier, though, with just that extra, layer of assists, saves, everything just going their way.
Leading by 1, though. We forget how easy it is to score one time off of one basic mistake from Frazier. And there it is. We are back to a completely even slate with a little under halfway to go. 2 minutes, 25 seconds. We're tied up at 2.
Rocky putting the team on his back as another kickoff through. An overtime in Game 5 would be the way to have it. We'd have to see if it goes towards that distance as Seven Dragon now control the ball. Gets it past 2 members of Frazier. Trying to carry things down as Xbox 3, the last one in net, cleared away by Xbox 2 before it even makes its way to be a centered ball to work off of as now the 2-minute mark approaching. Shot on target, saved away. Frazier, now their turn with the ball, a banger away. Rocky to bring things back as it's now slowed down up the sidewall. Xbox 2 unable to read it though, bump out of the play. On to Seven Dragon as Xbox 15 now to carry things down. Rocky, a nice clear. Sealing down towards the midfield. Is there anybody to follow?
Xbox 15 takes this slow and steady. Up the wall, looks for the air dribble. One more touch off the backboard. No, the ball just gets away from them. Xbox 2 has a shot that is saved away by Rocky as Xbox 15 looks to get control, but Cambria control. Seven Dragons bounces it up and down, and Central Cambria scores again. Seven Dragon 82 takes the lead.
It's a long one. It's a slow one, but it gets it done. Doesn't go off post, just barely slips into the right side of that net. And now Frazier have to be careful here as we are approaching the final 60 seconds. Game number 5. All the cards up for both of these teams. Frazier needs to do something here. That's a shot, but Rocky sitting back now, being a defensive start. As look how scared Central Cambria is right now, Tucker. They have 3 players, even Seven Dragon, not even bringing the ball to the Frazier side of the field. 2 players sitting back in net. They do not want anything to even get close to their side of the pitch.
Not at all. They want to keep this as secured gets. They're leading by 1, but we all know that a 1-goal lead is never safe with Frazier, so they want to keep this ball as far away from their net as possible. If they can, they would love to score 1 more, but I'm not sure Frazier is going to give them that. Driving down, nearly into the net one more time. It's hit the wrong way. That was the huge opportunity for the game to be sent to tie. It goes back. Rocky catches them lacking. Frazier now down by 2.
18 seconds left. Not sure if there's anything to bring back here. Frazier need to recover straight off of the kickoff as, unfortunately, a long shot. They didn't have somebody in net like they usually do. They were getting aggressive, trying to find that goal to send them to overtime. Frazier need to do something, and they need to do it now. Xbox 15, the center down. Xbox 2's not there, though. And Xbox 3 now on the defensive hold. You can't do that when there's 18 seconds left, down by 2. And Central Cambria down, but able to bring things back at the last second. And they're going to win in game number 5.
Man, oh man, Central Cambria with a banger of a series. It was looking really awkward. It was looking like Frazier was going to have this to the win all the way. Yet, Central Cambria locks in, they lock up, and they secure this series. It takes all 5 games, but it doesn't matter if it takes 3. It doesn't matter if it takes all 5. The point is, they got it done. and they advance to 3-1.
3-1. Frazier unfortunately sent down to 1-3. And you know, that's what we expected. We're still in that point where any team can beat any team. Frazier, they had the opportunity. They looked really strong in games number 2 and 3. Unfortunately, just falling apart near the end there. Central Cambria gonna take it in a game 5 winner, a nail biter for both of these teams as Rocky stat padding for himself, stat padding for Central Cambria, and that is going to be our first series of the day done. We've got one more here on the A stream, St. Bernard versus Mary Queen of Apostles. That match going to be on your screen and hopefully just under 10 to 15 minutes. You're not going to want to miss that one. Stay tuned.
What's up, brothers? And welcome back to some Tech High School action. And today, it's Tuesday. That's right. It's Tuesday, which means we have some special teams, special plays, special players hitting the pitch with some Rocket League action. But before we get to that, since it's been a few weeks since we've had Rocket League over here with the holiday and everything, let's go ahead and take a look at how our teams fared last time out back in March. And starting in Division 1, we got things kicked off with Frazier High School being able to secure their first dub of the season. A clean sweep at that against West Green. And it was Sethman 619 with the performance from the top rope, truly making a splash with 10 goals on just 14 shots, also leading the lobby in saves as well. And Gateway were able to keep their undefeated season going with a hard-fought matchup over Albert Gallatin, a series where Gateway were outscored 7-5 through the first 4 games, but being able to step it up when it mattered the most. Ice in the veins, handing Albert Gallatin their second loss of the season. And while we're talking about undefeated seasons being kept going, Carmichael's area were able to keep their perfect spring going as well. Another sweep. They've only lost 3 games all semester, and it was Jay Cray going cray-cray. 9 goals, 3 saves, 3 assists. This team looks impressive. And what's better than 1 sweep? You already know it, brother. It's 2 sweeps as Carmichael's area goes back-to-back, and who else but Jay Cray to lead the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 6 saves. And it was the GOATs from Greater Altoona who were able to bust out the Brooms versus Winburn area. Greater Altoona moves up to 3-2 and have their eyes set in on securing a playoff spot. And it feels like a sweep is definitely a great place to start, but can the momentum from that have carried over this long? Only time will tell. And we saved the best for last, baby. Our game of the week last week for Division 1, the run back of our spring championship, as Forest Hills and California area both entered the matchup undefeated. And despite Forest Hills winning game number 1, it was the best hair in the business, Ixwalbo, leading the way with 9 goals along with 4 saves and hat tricks in back-to-back games in 3 and 4 to wrap up the gentleman's sweep. And in Division 2, we had Franklin Regional able to get their first dub of the season, and they came to play against Guybel Catholic, breaking out the Brooms, and it was Alex leading the way with 12 goals, 3 assists, along with 3 saves. And Mapletown Junior Senior High also picked up their first series win of the season, being able to take down California area in 3 straight games. And it was B. Carrick leading the way for Mapletown with 12 goals, literally tripling the output from California area all by himself. What a series. And Jefferson Morgan were also able to break out the Brooms last time they hit the pitch, doing so against West Branch. And it was Long Balls doing it all, leading both teams in goals, assists, and saves. 7-2-2. Talk about an impressive split. And while we're speaking on sweeps, the GOATs from Greater Altoona know a thing or two about a good broom, and they've only dropped 1 game all spring. And unfortunately for Brownsville area, it wasn't during this series, and it was vanilla stuff in the stat sheet. We're talking 6 goals, 4 assists, and 3 saves as well. And the Rangers from Forest Hills were able to have a big outing last week when they hit the pitch. It started with a win over Franklin Regional in 3 straight games, and Block A leading the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 3 saves. But they then carried that momentum into their second series. And I had to double check to make sure that these stats were right. Not the sweep, because they do that over at Forest Hills. But 30 goals from Block A? 30? Are you kidding me? 6 assists as well as throwing in a save. Watch out, Pick B. Looks like we found your replacement as Forest Hills moves up to 5-0. And Albert Gallatin were able to put themselves up over that 500 mark on the season with their win against West Branch. And it was Got Skills leading the way with 11 goals and 5 saves to go along with his 2 assists, as Albert Gallatin moved to 2-1 on the season, but their schedule does get packed in the upcoming weeks. And wrapping up our D2 action, it's Penn Trafford taking down Salisbury Elklick in 3 straight games, holding the Elks to just 1 goal. And it was Extrencia with an impressive performance, 6 goals on just 5 shots. Bro is that good. Added in a couple of saves as well as Penn Trafford moved to 4-1. And now that we've seen how last week's action broke down, let's go ahead and see who's moved up, down, or out of our Division 1 Power 5 rankings. And y'all already know we can't leave out our Division 2 squad. Here's our Power 5 rankings for those as well. And here's our overall standings for our Division 1 Rocket League thus far in the spring. And let's go ahead and take a look at our Division 2 standings going into this week's action. Now, if there's a matchup that you're looking for, let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule for week number 7. That way we can make sure that we got y'all in the right spot to catch the action live. Now, I know that my matchup to watch is going to be towards the end of the day, and that's going to be Penn Trafford versus Laurel Highland. And that's a matchup that could already have some playoff implications already on the line. And in Division 2, keep an eye out for a battle between 2 top 5 teams in Gateway and Penn Trafford. And so with that being said, it's time we get down and do what it do. It's time for week number 7. So good luck to all of our competitors out there. But don't forget, we've got more content heading y'all's way more than ever over on social media, as well as over on YouTube. The top 5 plays this year have been extra spicy. So make sure you're getting involved, smacking the like button, leaving a comment, and don't forget to tell somebody, to tell somebody, to tell somebody about it, brothers. Until we catch y'all back over here for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all, it's your boy Q, signing out. What's up, brothers? And welcome back to some Tech High School action. And today, it's Tuesday. That's right. It's Tuesday, which means we have some special teams, special plays, special players hitting the pitch with some Rocket League action. But before we get to that, since it's been a few weeks since we've had Rocket League over here with the holiday and everything, let's go ahead and take a look at how our teams fared last time out back in March. And starting in Division 1, we got things kicked off with Fraser High School being able to secure their first dub of the season. A clean sweep at that against West Green. And it was Seth's man 619 with the performance from the top rope, truly making a splash with 10 goals on just 14 shots, also leading the lobby in saves as well. And Gateway were able to keep their undefeated season going with a hard-fought matchup over Albert Gallatin, a series where Gateway were outscored 7-5 through the first 4 games, but being able to step it up when it mattered the most. Ice in the veins, handing Albert Gallatin their second loss of the season. And while we're talking about undefeated seasons being kept going, Carmichael's area were able to keep their perfect spring going as well. Another sweep. They've only lost 3 games all semester, and it was Jay Cray going cray-cray. 9 goals, 3 saves, 3 assists. This team looks impressive. And what's better than 1 sweep? You already know it, brother. It's 2 sweeps as Carmichael's area goes back-to-back, and who else but Jay Cray to lead the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 6 saves. And it was the GOATs from Greater Altoona who were able to bust out the Brooms versus Winburn area. Greater Altoona moves up to 3-2 and have their eyes set in on securing a playoff spot. And it feels like a sweep is definitely a great place to start, but can the momentum from that have carried over this long? Only time will tell. And we saved the best for last, baby. Our game of the week last week for Division 1, the run back of our spring championship, as Forest Hills and California area both entered the matchup undefeated. And despite Forest Hills winning game number 1, it was the best hair in the business, Ixualvo leading the way with 9 goals along with 4 saves and hat tricks in back-to-back games in 3 and 4 to wrap up the gentleman's sweep. And in Division 2, we had Franklin Regional able to get their first dub of the season, and they came to play against Geibel Catholic, breaking out the Brooms, and it was Alex leading the way with 12 goals, 3 assists, along with 3 saves. And Mapletown Junior Senior High also picked up their first series win of the season, being able to take down California area in 3 straight games. And it was B. Carrick leading the way for Mapletown with 12 goals, literally tripling the output from California area all by himself. What a series. And Jefferson Morgan were also able to break out the Brooms last time they hit the pitch, doing so against West Branch. And it was long balls doing it all, leading both teams in goals, assists, and saves. 7-2-2. Talk about an impressive split. And while we're speaking on sweeps, the GOATs from Greater Altoona know a thing or two about a good Broom, and they've only dropped 1 game all spring. And unfortunately for Brownsville area, it wasn't during this series, and it was vanilla stuff in the stat sheet. We're talking 6 goals, 4 assists, and 3 saves as well. And the Rangers from Forest Hills were able to have a big outing last week when they hit the pitch. It started with a win over Franklin Regional in 3 straight games, and Block A leading the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 3 saves. But they then carried that momentum into their second series, and I had to double check to make sure that these stats were right. Not the sweep, because they do that over at Forest Hills, but 30 goals from Block A? 30? Are you kidding me? 6 assists as well as throwing in a save. Watch out, Pick B. Looks like we found your replacement as Forest Hills moves up to 5-0. And Albert Gallatin were able to put themselves up over that 500 mark on the season with their win against West Branch. And it was Got Skills leading the way with 11 goals and 5 saves to go along with his 2 assists, as Albert Gallatin moved to 2-1 on the season, but their schedule does get packed in the upcoming weeks. And wrapping up our D2 action, it's Penn Trafford taking down Salisbury Elk Lick in 3 straight games, holding the Elks to just 1 goal. And it was Extrencia with an impressive performance, 6 goals on just 5 shots. Bro is that good. Added in a couple of saves as well as Penn Trafford moved to 4-1. And now that we've seen how last week's action broke down, let's go ahead and see who's moved up, down, or out of our Division 1 Power 5 rankings. And y'all already know we can't leave out our Division 2 squad. Here's our Power 5 rankings for those as well. And here's our overall standings for our Division 1 Rocket League thus far in the spring. And let's go ahead and take a look at our Division 2 standings going into this week's action. Now, if there's a matchup that you're looking for, let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule for week number 7. That way we can make sure that we got y'all in the right spot to catch the action live. Now, I know that my matchup to watch is going to be towards the end of the day, and that's going to be Penn Trafford versus Laurel Highland. And that's a matchup that could already have some playoff implications already on the line. And in Division 2, keep an eye out for a battle between 2 top 5 teams in Gateway and Penn Trafford. And so with that being said, it's time we get down and do what it do. It's time for week number 7. So good luck to all of our competitors out there. But don't forget, we've got more content heading y'all's way more than ever over on social media, as well as over on YouTube. The top 5 plays this year have been extra spicy. So make sure you're getting involved, smacking the like button, leaving a comment, and don't forget to tell somebody, to tell somebody, to tell somebody about it, brothers. Until we catch y'all back over here for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all, it's your boy Q, signing out. What's up, brothers? And welcome back to some Tech High School action. And today, it's Tuesday. That's right. It's Tuesday, which means we have some special teams, special plays, special players hitting the pitch with some Rocket League action. But before we get to that, since it's been a few weeks since we've had Rocket League over here with the holiday and everything, let's go ahead and take a look at how our teams fared last time out back in March. And starting in Division 1, we got things kicked off with Fraser High School being able to secure their first dub of the season. A clean sweep at that against West Green. And it was Seth Man 619 with the performance from the top rope, truly making a splash with 10 goals on just 14 shots, also leading the lobby in saves as well. And Gateway were able to keep their undefeated season going with a hard-fought matchup over Albert Gallatin, a series where Gateway were outscored 7-5 through the first 4 games, but being able to step it up when it mattered the most. Ice in the veins, handing Albert Gallatin their second loss of the season. And while we're talking about undefeated seasons being kept going, Carmichael's area were able to keep their perfect spring going as well. Another sweep. They've only lost 3 games all semester, and it was Jay Cray going cray-cray. 9 goals, 3 saves, 3 assists. This team looks impressive. And what's better than 1 sweep? You already know it, brother. It's 2 sweeps as Carmichael's area goes back to back, and who else but Jay Cray to lead the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 6 saves. And it was the GOATs from Greater Altoona who were able to bust out the brooms versus Winburn area. Greater Altoona moves up to 3-2 and have their eyes set in on securing a playoff spot. And it feels like a sweep is definitely a great place to start, but can the momentum from that have carried over this long? Only time will tell. And we saved the best for last, baby. Our game of the week last week for Division 1, the run back of our spring championship, as Forest Hills and California area both entered the matchup undefeated. And despite Forest Hills winning game number 1, it was the best hair in the business, Ixwalbo leading the way with 9 goals along with 4 saves and hat tricks in back-to-back games in 3 and 4 to wrap up the gentleman's sweep. And in Division 2, we had Franklin Regional able to get their first dub of the season, and they came to play against Geibel Catholic, breaking out the brooms, and it was Alex leading the way with 12 goals, 3 assists, along with 3 saves. And Mapletown Junior Senior High also picked up their first series win of the season, being able to take down California area in 3 straight games. And it was B. Carrot leading the way for Mapletown with 12 goals, literally tripling the output from California area all by himself. What a series. And Jefferson Morgan were also able to break out the brooms last time they hit the pitch, doing so against West Branch. And it was long balls doing it all, leading both teams in goals, assists, and saves. 7-2-2. Talk about an impressive split. And while we're speaking on sweeps, the GOATs from Greater Altoona know a thing or two about a good broom, and they've only dropped 1 game all spring. And unfortunately for Brownsville area, it wasn't during this series, and it was vanilla stuff in the stat sheet. We're talking 6 goals, 4 assists, and 3 saves as well. And the Rangers from Forest Hills were able to have a big outing last week when they hit the pitch. It started with a win over Franklin Regional in 3 straight games, and Block A leading the way with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 3 saves. But they then carried that momentum into their second series. And I had to double check to make sure that these stats were right. Not the sweep, because they do that over at Forest Hills, but 30 goals from Block A. 30? Are you kidding me? 6 assists as well as throwing in a save. Watch out, Pick B. Looks like we found your replacement as Forest Hills moves up to 5-0. And Albert Gallatin were able to put themselves up over that 500 mark on the season with their win against West Branch. And it was Got Skills leading the way with 11 goals and 5 saves to go along with his 2 assists, as Albert Gallatin moved to 2-1 on the season, but their schedule does get packed in the upcoming weeks. And wrapping up our D2 action, it's Penn Trafford taking down Salisbury Elklick in 3 straight games, holding the Elks to just 1 goal. And it was Extrencia with an impressive performance, 6 goals on just 5 shots. Bro is that good. Added in a couple of saves as well as Penn Trafford moved to 4-1. And now that we've seen how last week's action broke down, let's go ahead and see who's moved up, down, or out of our Division 1 Power 5 rankings. And y'all already know we can't leave out our Division 2 squad. Here's our Power 5 rankings for those as well. And here's our overall standings for our Division 1 Rocket League thus far in the spring.
What's going on, guys? Back with more TEC middle school action here on the Esports Company's Twitch channel. We've got the second matchup of the day, St. Bernard versus Mary Queen of Apostles. And these teams are in D2, had a bit of struggles so far throughout the season. Specifically, Mary Queen of Apostles, at the moment, they're 1-2.
Yeah, currently sitting at 1-2, and we look at St. Bernard currently sitting undefeated at 2-0, so trying to keep an undefeated streak here in their middle school run. Of course, we are deep into Week 5 territory. Playoff cusps on the horizon for some of these teams, also looking to, stray their way into the top few seeds to have a chance of making it towards the finals. But so far, game number 1 up. A nice shot from Gutsy Advice, saved away by Mary Queen, but followed up again by Gutsy, and that's going to be the first goal going towards St. Bernard.
St. Bernard gets it done yet again. The first goal goes their way, and so far, they are undefeated. Currently at 2-0 with both of their games being sweeps, round differential of +6. So, they are one of the statistically best teams in the TEC middle school division right now. Let's see if they can just show us how good they really are.
We will have to wait and see. The first minute down, Mary Queen looking for something here. It's going to be a slow roller downfield. Do they get the follow-up in time? It's a pull shot from one teammate to another. Zippy Bovin to put it home and tie things up for Mary Queen.
What a play. Bumped from Mary Queen 26 right into the ball. That is insane. Already evened up. A little bit of waffle for that goal, but a goal is a goal. It all looks the same on the scoreboard.
It does all look the same on the scoreboard here, as Mary Queen going to be sent right back down to a deficit. Another shot from Gutsy Advice, and St. Bernard respond quickly with a banger shot.
Right in the money yet again. 2-1. St. Bernard now leads 2 shots and 2 goals for Gutsy Advice. The accuracy is on point.
Yeah, these banger shots just have not been readable for Mary Queen so far. We'll have to see if they can follow up, as another shot on target. TEC gonna send one high and wide, as it's now a minute and 30 through this game. Zippy Bovin trying to carry things down, but unable to be found, as Mary Queen trying to work this ball towards the St. Bernard side of the field, but unable to do so, as a hard pinch clearing things all the way back around. Gutsy Advice control of the ball, boost in hand. Gonna be bumped out of the play though.
To the side, in comes TEC 04. Battling with the ball, and Mary Queen. Usually you battle somebody else for the ball, but it looked like they were battling the ball specifically. But eventually, the slump breaks. They're able to get that ball out of that awkward spot. And Gutsy Advice looks to drive it down. Demo on the back line. That is massive. St. Bernard a little timid on it. They aren't able to get there in time, and the ball will cross the net without a goal. But driving down is the ball towards the white net, but it can't get put in.
Yeah, Demo's on the play. 3 back-to-back from multiple teams, multiple players. As no ball put in the back of the net yet here in this minute of gameplay. Mary Queen had a chance, but it slipped through their fingers. Gutsy Advice controlled the ball, bumped out of the play. Mary Queen to make the save will do so as it's brought back downfield. TEC now to follow in their own corner. 2 minutes down, and St. Bernard still have a lead here, but Mary Queen looking to tie things up. Ball's in front of the net, cleared away yet again.
Zippy Bowman stuck on the corner. It goes over to the side. TEC 04 missing the ball once, not once, but twice. Gutsy Advice yet again gets beat on the ball by just a little bit. Big 50 won by Zippy Bowman. And Gutsy Advice waits for the ball to go up and down. And driving down is St. Bernard, but Mary Queen is there to keep control and keep themselves within arm's reach.
Now working things down yet again. TEC, I mean, the demos in this game so far. And this is only game number 1. There's been so many demos on the play. A nice save. St. Bernard couldn't put it home. They were looking for a nail in the coffin, but it never came to be. As Mary Queen now looking to bring things back. A minute left. Have to score 1 at least to bring them to a tie game for overtime. But St. Bernard looking strong here. Another looking for that bump with St. Bernard, but couldn't find it. TEC up for the ball. It's going to float in front of the net. Saved away by Zippy Bowman. Gutsy Advice. Shot on target. Off the post. Nobody's there to put it home. TEC is, though, and St. Bernard up 3-1. Looking to close out game number 1.
3-2-1. What a play. St. Bernard gets the lead extended. And all but securing this game if they can just hold it out for a little bit longer. Mary Queen, so far, they've only put up 1 shot on the game. And with 30 seconds to go, they've got to figure out how to triple up on that. And they all have to go in. But there's one of them.
There's one. It took them about 10 seconds. They still have about 30 left to work with.
That's possible.
Possible.
It's going to be very difficult. Maybe improbable, but definitely possible.
There's a world where they get this goal. Gutsy Advice off the start. Kickoff not going to go their way. Mary Queen shot! 3-3, 20 seconds left. And they somehow brought things back.
All of a sudden, we are back to a completely even slate. I thought it was not going to happen. I'm not going to lie. My faith was not at an all-time high. But now, I have all the faith in the world. 2 goals back-to-back in very, very quick succession. It looks like we might just be going to overtime. Hold on a sec. Backboard. St. Bernard puts 1 more in and regains the lead.
We had 3 goals at the start of the game, and we just had another 3 in the last minute. Everything going the way of St. Bernard here at the end. Mary Queen also finding shots on target. And now they need to do it again. 11 seconds. Anything can truly happen here. Kickoff towards the sidewall. It's a floater. Keeping things low to the ground now is Zippy Bowman. Mary Queen whiffing on the ball. Not able to bring it down in time. And it's going to be St. Bernard. After looking like they were on the back foot for the last 30 seconds. Bringing it back just at the very end of the game. Going to give them a Game 1 victory.
Man, oh man, that was looking very dicey at the end of it. Mary Queen almost had the comeback, almost took Game 1 from the grips of St. Bernard, but not quite is the word of the day. Or the, I guess, sentence of the day, considering it's 2 words. But either way, 2 goals, 2 words, doesn't matter. 4 goals were scored by St. Bernard, and it is just enough to sneak by.
Just enough. I mean, looking at the shot differential, 8-3, so they definitely had a lot of time on offense. 4 goals scored for St. Bernard. compared to Mary Queen's 3. So definitely still have a game on our hands, but we'll have to see, what goes down here. Looking at the save differential as well here. Despite 3 shots, 3 shots, 3 goals for Mary Queen. That was it. They also had another 4 saves to work with, so they definitely had a lot of time on defense. St. Bernard, though, if a shot was going in, it seemed that it was going in. They were just not making those saves.
Not at all. So game 1 goes to St. Bernard in a pretty even fashion. It was one-sided for most of the game, but at the end of it, Mary Queen just decided that they wanted to get as hard as they possibly could, hit the ball as big, as hard as they could, and St. Bernard somehow manages to sneak away. But if I am St. Bernard, I'm not as confident as I once was. Mary Queen showed what they can do in those last 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, now there's another 5 minutes on the clock for them to maybe really show what they're capable of. I mean, we saw what they did in that clutch situation. Unfortunately, didn't come to be, as in the last 11 seconds, St. Bernard showed that they were also clutch, but a new game. Scoreboards reset. All the players have a new opportunity to score, save, shoot, and do as they must to claim a victory for their school, as we see a defensive line set up by Mary Queen, and now a ball floating downfield. Mary Queen just has to send it home, and there, you're going to start off with a 1-goal lead.
There we go. An awkward touch from St. Bernard 02 gives Mary Queen 26 a wide open net to work with. And you can't get it much wide or open than that.
40 seconds in. Mary Queen have a lead. How long can they keep it for, though? St. Bernard have had a very strong and offensive offense. As TEC working things down, Zippy Bovid has control of the ball, has to clear it away. No, he doesn't. It's stolen away by Gutsy Advice. And St. Bernard bounce back.
1-1 already. Gutsy Advice. When you need a goal scored as soon as possible, that's going to be your guy. St. Bernard back in this game, back at the even slate. 1 shot and 1 goal for both of these sides.
4 minutes left now, and we have had 1 goal apiece. You're going to have to see which team, claims a strong lead. I like to see a 2-goal lead out of one of these teams to really show, who's boss around here. But so far, a close game, back and forth. 1-goal game in game number 1, currently tied here in game number 2. As TEC trying to work with the ball, it's going to fall down low. Zippy Bovid and Mary Queen working together to try and bring this one downfield, as TEC not going to have a shot on the play. Zippy Bovid's turn now up into the St. Bernard corner, but going to be cleared away.
Up goes Mary Queen, big whiff. Gutsy Advice puts 1 more in. 2-1 off of a huge whiff from Mary Queen. It's so good. Big shot, dead center, and you can't get much better than that.
Cannot get much better than that, indeed, as Gutsy Advice just continuing to put in goals for St. Bernard. As the ball going towards the corner, Mary Queen, shot, gonna be centered. Is there anybody there to put it home? Zippy Bovid is! And just like that, Tucker, we've seen 2 goals answered back very quickly from both teams.
Really nice. Gutsy Advice gets beat. The ball rolls right over them around the wall and right into Zippy Bovid's line of sight. And 2 shots, 2 goals for each side, but Mary Queen has a bit of an awkward stat line. Zippy Bovid has an infinite percentage shot to goal ratio with 1 goal off of 0 shots.
Yeah, I mean, infinite shot percentage, you love to see it. Now, that's a stat that you'd like to keep. You're getting goals even when you didn't have to put it in front of the net. As St. Bernard up on the sidewall here. Gutsy Advice has a center ball saved away. Mary Queen stays alive.
During that halfway point, we are still evened up. TEC 04 looks for the slot, but it's too slow. Easily saved away by Mary Queen's defense. One more time, Gutsy Advice waits for that ball to come to them and almost wins a 50. Ends up in a demo going the way of Gutsy Advice. Mary Queen gets blown up.
Halfway through this game, it's still tied. Gutsy Advice now up on the sidewall, looking for a touch. It's going to fall down not going to find a second touch as it's sent away by Zippy Bovin. High, going to be waterfall down in front of the net. Do they try and follow this in the air? Players scrambling, figuring out what to do, but nothing's going to come of it. It's going to be a slow roller downfield. Mary Queen going to have to make a save from a beeline ball towards the net, but easier done than said in that scenario.
Zippy Bovin gets beat. Gutsy advice, driving it up the wall. No boost in hand, though, and in the tank. Looks for one more setup is TEC 04. It's way too far to the sidewall. Yet again, we've reached a stalemate, but not for long. No, it's off the backboard. That goal's just a little bit too small. That could have been bad news for Mary Queen. But now it's bad news from the other side. St. Bernard has to get back.
Looks like they will. TEC makes the save yet again. Mary Queen not able to find a second touch on the ball to try and put it home. Gutsy Advice carrying this one downfield. Cleared away by Zippy Bovin. Back in the hands of Gutsy Advice, though. A backflip on the play. Looking to send it home. It's blocked by his own teammate. Cleared away by Mary Queen. 60 seconds left. 2 digits now left on the clock. Mary Queen sending this one downfield. Zippy Bovin looking for the goal. There it is. And Mary Queen sits up by 1 with just under a minute remaining.
We've seen what can happen with St. Bernard in the quick match, though. With 53 seconds remaining, this is not over. Mary Queen take the lead. St. Bernard is still very much there.
Waiting for that offensive pressure. They do have more shots than Mary Queen, only up by 1. Actually, now it's a tied in terms of shots after that one. As Gutsy Advice bringing this one up the sidewall. St. Bernard going for bumps. TEC's shot going to be up high and wide. Looking for a second tap down. Gutsy Advice not there in time. Mary Queen to clear things away as TEC looking for a touch. Not going to find it. Gutsy Advice playing back, playing safe, waiting for the opportunity to strike as TEC looking to center. Sends it wide. 20 seconds left now.
15 ticks left. Mary Queen, 26, waiting for that ball. 50 is won by Gutsy Advice, and they are following it up the wall. Big whiff on the side. One more time, TEC 04 completely misses it. Rolling down the other way, and Mary Queen's going to extend to 1-1. Mary Queen of Apostles sneak by with the Game 2 win.
Just barely. Now we're seeing, both teams proving that they can beat each other. As despite an undefeated standing from St. Bernard, Mary Queen still more in this than not. Looking at this leaderboard, I mean, 6 demos from St. Bernard, but still less goals. So, these demos, they happened, but not much really came out of them. Not a lot of goals scored off of it as we see goals, assists, shots. I think shots actually completely even, excuse me. But Mary Queen, doing a lot more on the defense there to really give themselves the edge here in game number 2.
Just by a little bit, but a little bit is enough in this sense. Therefore, let's push it on to game 3. TJ, we are guaranteed a game 4 in this series.
We are guaranteed a game number 4. It'll be deciding on which team decides that they want to take match point first. Which team has that edge here in the competition. Mary Queen St. Bernard looking to keep their undefeated status. Mary Queen looking to drive themselves up in the standings. As game number 3 now underway.
Let's just see if they can drive it up a little bit farther. Of course, St. Bernard is currently undefeated, and Mary Queen just gave them their first game loss of the season. So surely if they can beat them one time, they can beat them twice, and they can beat them a third time. But St. Bernard is not letting that happen easily.
Not at all. TEC now showing up on the board. Gutsy Advice was also there for the play. Everybody just trying to ram that one into the back of the net. And St. Bernard going to start off with a 1-goal lead. We'll see how quickly it's answered here by Mary Queen. We've seen these back-to-back shots from opposite teams happen multiple times in game number 2. Doesn't happen again here in game number 3.
Independent ball. Finally hit away by the Mary Queen side. St. Bernard doing a little bit of demoing to get into a good spot. It's a really nice angle, but it's just a little too thin. off of the post and booted out of the way. As in goes TEC 4. Once more, Gutsy Advice has a shot. Does not get put through, as it is denied once again by Mary Queen of Apostles.
Denied early, a minute down, and St. Bernard still keeping a lead here. Ball rolling up the wall. Mary Queen looking to capitalize on the opportunity. A demo comes through in the backfield, though, as Gutsy Advice makes a hard clear. Maybe looking to send this one downfield before the team can get recuperated, as it's a shot. Going to be wide, though. Bounces off the post. And now floating back towards the midfield. Mary Queen shoots that one down. TEC makes it clear. St. Bernard being a nuisance in the net. Throwing out these bumps as Gutsy Advice whiffs on the ball. TEC gonna do the same, as she's gonna find a bump out of it instead, so at least something to come of that play. Mary Queen trying to follow this one down, drill it home, but nothing yet. Nothing answered in the last 90 seconds.
Big demo from St. Bernard onto Mary Queen, as it's a big long shot over towards the side of Mary Queen. Rolls in front of the net, but nobody is there to get the shot. Another demo for St. Bernard 0-2. At this point, it just seems like they're headhunting for the Mary Queen defense. And I mean, it's a great strategy. You can't make a save if there's nobody to make a save. And that is the point in progress.
Gutsy Advice taking advantage. Mary Queen just not set up for that play, just having to rush to get back to net after every single demolition. And we just saw on the camera there, St. Bernard was going for more. Unfortunately, though, Mary Queen now down by 2, has to work this one back in. They're gonna play a informal kickoff and fight off of it instead, as Gutsy Advice to make the clear. Halfway through this game now, Tucker. Mary Queen yet to recover.
Down by 2. We've seen how quickly they can come back, though. But St. Bernard looks absolutely bent on keeping this lead and taking this series as swiftly as they can. They've only lost one game throughout this season, that being to Mary Queen. That cannot feel good. And at the moment, St. Bernard looks like they are playing mad.
Yeah, Mary Queen have just proven that the beast can bleed. St. Bernard looking to put a band-aid on it here in game number 3. Zippy Bovin a whiff on the ball, as TEC trying to carry this one downfield. 2 minutes left as St. Bernard still looking to extend their lead. Zippy Bovin a whiff. Back towards the midfield, up the side wall. And nothing to come of it just yet.
Under that 2-minute mark, Mary Queen has had their struggles getting onto the offense. Don't even have a shot recorded. With St. Bernard playing so constrictive, things are only getting tighter and tighter as the games goes on.
Yeah, they've been looking a lot cleaner so far, not having to take as many aggressive approaches, but also these demos have just left Mary Queen stranded, forcing to play farther back so the ball doesn't get too far. And the ball's just not getting far forward enough. They're playing, one man back right now, and even when that one man's back, we've seen how constrictive, as you said, these demos have been throughout the game.
1 minute remaining. One more set up from St. Bernard. TEC 04 gets slanted back behind the ball. They have to figure out a way to get back in front of it. But Gutsy Advice is there to take the place. Good hit. Nearly the double, actually the double commit comes through. This is very bad. Gutsy Advice completely misses it. This is a big opportunity for Mary Queen to take their chance, but they whiff as well. And now it's back to completely even.
And now the ball's just flying through the field. Nobody finding any strong touch. There's a good one from TEC, though. Nobody's home in net. A second one, but it's going to be too high. Gutsy Advice. They're saved away by Mary Queen, trying to keep themselves in this. They need to find a goal now. They need a couple seconds to work with off kickoff. They need to find the back of the net. Gutsy Advice says no. Mary Queen still looking to press forward, but the game is washed. St. Bernard going to take game number 3 and going to secure match point.
1 for 1 for 1. This one, though, looks a lot better than everything we've seen so far. Look at how many shots compared to Mary Queen. That is 5 shots for St. Bernard. Mary Queen left with a goose egg. And that, going into game 4, scares me if I'm on the side of Mary Queen.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of goose eggs just across this stat line. They had 1 save and 1 demo. That was about it. Didn't really put up a goal, so no assists to come with. Overall, not looking amazing for Mary Queen. We're going to see if they can turn things around in game number 4. I mean, we saw St. Bernard win game number 1, Mary Queen win game number 2, St. Bernard game number 3. I mean, if this script keeps going, St. Bernard's going to eventually tire you out, but we'll have to see. I mean, St. Bernard just looking really good. Good ball possession, much more boost consumption, much more boost consumption. And field domination, close enough to 50-50, but St. Bernard just a little bit quicker to get that ball to the other side of the pitch.
Just that much quicker. You wouldn't think it'd make a huge difference, but it's just enough. St. Bernard, if they can do that one more time, they're going to take this series. They're going to stay undefeated on the season, advance to 3-0, put themselves right up there with the top dogs of the pack, Portage.
Yeah, looking pretty good this season, St. Bernard, as they look to keep an undefeated streak. Of course, haven't played against Portage area yet in the season, so that will be a game to watch. As long as we keep their undefeated streak, there could be a team that's, sitting underdog right now. If they've faced up against Portage area and have been unlucky enough. Of course, this is Division 2, not Division 1. But both of these teams still looking strong nonetheless. A slow roller towards the net. TEC has to get there. It's going to be off the crossbar instead. Now, only one player in the sight lines in front of TEC, but a backflip instead. Gutsy Advice doesn't go for the bump in time, and it's flicked off of TEC's car, now making its way towards the St. Bernard. Yet Mary Queen to put it home, and they will find a goal.
Really nice. St. Bernard has a problem with starting off these games. They are really good in the midpoint of the games, but starting off, they've been very lackluster. I think they had the first goal so far in one of these games. Every other game, it's been Mary Queen starting off.
Yeah, Mary Queen, usually the team to start things off strong, and St. Bernard has fought their way back. Last game, of course, St. Bernard just kind of got to cruise through. But we'll have to see as the game keeps chugging along. Gutsy Advice now downfield, has boost, has ball. Gonna be sent away, though, TEC. Looking for anything. Ball out in the open. Gutsy Advice, it's too high. It's gonna go down.
Oh, my goodness. That is a tragedy for Gutsy Advice. That was the perfect opportunity to even things up. It was whiff after whiff after whiff, and everybody just misses. Gutsy Advice looks to right that wrong, though, carrying it. Has a shot. Beautiful read. St. Bernard back to an even slate.
The 50, the passing play, everything lined up, just perfectly bouncing off of Gutsy Advice's car, not once, but twice, to put it home, tying things back up. 1:30 left. Or excuse me, 3 minutes 20 left. 1 goal each. But both teams looking strong here. Game number 4, Mary Queen, reminder to the viewers at home, they need to win this game to go to game 5. Match point currently sitting in the clutches of St. Bernard.
Nice touch from Gutsy Advice as well. TEC 04 now leading the charge. Mary Queen 26 boots it off of its path just to give them a little bit more time to decide what they need to do. And again, rolls back the other way. St. Bernard has one more touch. Yet again, it's stolen away from Mary Queen by Mary Queen 26, but it's rolling down. Gutsy Advice has a huge opportunity. Bar down, bounces one, and it's out again. The accuracy's gone out the window.
It's just not there. The crossbar has been Gutsy Advice's worst enemy here in game number 4. As now they look to carry things down yet again. Sippy Bovin, a whip on the ball. TEC and Gutsy Advice. We saw what they did for the last goal. Do they do it again here? Mary Queen reads it beautifully, sending it back towards the corner.
Gutsy Advice has a shot. Double commit. And the team bump is going to end that rally almost before it gets started. TEC 04 simply overshooting that ball. Gutsy Advice has got to get back and reset this shot. A great center from Zippy Bovid, but nobody's there to finish.
And now a minute and 40, almost towards that 90-second mark. TEC working it down. Gutsy Advice, a banger of a shot downfield. Looking for a second touch, the angle. Almost there, almost a banger of a shot to put a lead up for St. Bernard, but not found just yet. Now off the backboard, bouncing down towards the midfield. Double commit from Mary Queen, but it works out in their favor. TEC, a whiff of their own as Mary Queen shot down. Looking to follow now as Zippy Bovid's there to clutch things up. TEC puts it in front of St. Bernard's net, in front of his own team's net. A little scary there, but they get away unscathed.
1 minute remaining, and we are still evened up. I gotta say, this favors St. Bernard by a lot. They have more shots. They've been so much closer. They've only got away with nothing because of inaccuracy, but this one, you can't put it more in than that.
And it looks like it might have been an own goal from Mary Queen.
Oh, it
not
was?
the way it was an own goal. Just sent in.
No.
And now they've got to work back from that. 50 seconds left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. As another kickoff underway, Gutsy Advice wins it beautifully, and now it's only Zippy Bovid left home. TEC working this ball downfield, a pinch away. And now Mary Queen, I mean, they have a chance here. Ball is on the St. Bernard side of the field, looking for follow-ups, looking for these touches. Nothing to come of it yet. 30 seconds left. Center ball, Zippy Bovid, a tap, keeping it out of Gutsy's wheels as it's a shot. Mary Queen can't follow up. It's sent towards the corner.
Another big whiff. Gutsy Advice has a big, big save. One more shot from Zippy Bovid. Does not go where they wanted to. And TEC 04 leading the charge off of the corner. Over to the second man, but no, Mary Queen has the clear with it. One more time, TEC has got to be the savior. Gutsy Advice saved!
There it is.
Rolling around, game, set, match. St. Bernard stays undefeated.
Now up, what is it, 4-0 in the standings, if I'm not mistaken.
3-0.
3-0. 3-0 in the standings, right up there with Portage area, looking absolutely pristine. Of course, you know, Mary Queen, despite being a team that's 1-2 here, Tucker, if that is the first game that St. Bernard has ever let go, that is a huge accomplishment for Mary Queen.
Absolutely. And they were so close on so many occasions. They only lost by one. I think it was 2 or 3. I think it might have been 3 times. Honestly, St. Bernard, they won this game, but all of these games were close. Mary Queen was one mistake away from winning this series per game.
Yeah, one mistake away each and every time. Just couldn't close it out. And that's going to be St. Bernard taking that 3-1. I mean, again, up there with Portage area. I'm looking at the standings right now. Portage area has 2 games off. I think this technically puts St. Bernard above Portage area in the standings, now only having 1 recorded game lost. Still that 100% win rate overall, though. Still looking really good. A playoff-ready team for sure. But that's all we have for today, Tucker.
That is all we have for today. And that is unfortunately all we have for this week. But make sure you join us all next week because we have Valorant on Mondays, High School Rocket League on Tuesdays, Overwatch on Wednesdays, and then, of course, Middle School Rocket League on Thursdays as well. Make sure you check out the other bits of content we got. We are not just a live esports broadcasting channel. We've got a YouTube that shows highlights and other stuff. We've got a TikTok. We've got Instagram. We've got Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you check us out on social media. You do not want to miss anything that TEC has to offer. But for now, we must bid you adieu. Have a good night. Have a good day wherever you are in the world. We hope to see you on Monday for High School Valorant.